Hey there and welcome. My name is Carlos Berlitz and let's talk about what has been going on in the indie tabletop RPG scene. And as always, I'm not being directly sponsored by anyone mentioned here unless explicitly mentioned otherwise. So let's get to it. And there are two very important Kickstarter campaigns that I want you to pay attention to, and they are actually going live next week and June 1st to be more precise, both of them. So if you are watching it after June 1st, you can already go directly to the page and back it. And if not, you can still go to the page and click in the notify me at lunch. That is a common feature from Kickstarter, okay? So the first one is Arc by Bianca Mamatos, one of the creators from the RPGC community, the RPG Southeastern Asian community, and she was in an interview here before, you can check it out. The game is going to be distributed by Exalted Funerals, a well-known player in the game. The game itself brings you to a near inescapable doom that threatens infinite worlds, actually. It also brings some other creators from the RPGC scene. So this rules-like game, you have some quick start rules that you can check on itch.io if you want, that explains this confrontation against a real-time doomsday clock. You can also see an actual play that was in another channel, I will link it here as well. The second one is by one of my favorite YouTube creators, but the game itself is already mind-blowing. It is My Body is a Cage, and I do love the game and the premise of it. This game is by Bats, or as the name on YouTube, John Battle. The game basically is already out, but this campaign is for bringing some extra materials and adventures to it. My Body is a Cage brings you into someone that is having some difficulties in their real life, but through dreaming they go into a dungeon. If the PCs can find the end of the dungeon and gather the treasures and loot from it, perhaps they can then use this loot to solve their life's problems. And apart from the huge premise, the discussion and whatnot that it can bring with the game, elegant mechanics, it does feature killer art and a very good out-of-the-top layout. You should definitely check it out already. It's out. So I want to bring to your attention a bundle sale on itch.io by Diwata and Pammu, the Dovetailor, both from the Philippines and thus from RPGC, and breathtaking creators. They have put together this bundle to help them on some difficult times. They do need to make some changes to their personal lives, including moving and accommodating a cat into a new place. We can know that cats are not usually as easily accommodated in a new place. So all of it does cost money. So you can get some of their games for 60% off until the end of the first week of June. Being the subject of itch.io, we have some gems to mention today. The first one comes from the RPG Latam. RPG Latam is the Latin American community that I am a part of as well. And you should check this one that is, although based in a game, it is not attached to the game. What do I mean by it, actually? Is that you can create a game from it, a material, music, whatever, getting inspiration from the game itself. The game is Marvelous Mutation and Merry Musicians by great Wendy Y. So MMandMM is this jam to try to bring some of this idea, this spirit into some of your creations, actually. The second one is the Solarpunk Jam, which can sound strange to use punk in this context for some people, but I am not getting this merit. The jam provides some resources about it, but basically what is considered a solarpunk is a world in which major difficulties from humanity are already sorted out, like a climate change, pollution, making the earth greener. But you still have some other challenges to the system. Perhaps this greener world is already sorted out by technology, but you still have some major corporation ruling, inequalities. It is an ecological future, but it's an unequal one. So think about that. Also, Kickstarter campaigns live. You have now two for which they are for issue 2 of something. So you have Knock, magazine focused on OSR, the old school renaissance, that brings some amazing content, including this time around some content by Diogo Nogueira, probably the most well-known OSR creator from Brazil. And I am excited by it. There was some discussion about one of the members in Knock being not an ideal, actually feature in this edition having some problems, but I'm not getting this merit. Some further investigation should be made. Another one is Wyrd magazine that goes from session 0 to the first issue. Actually, session 0 is the first issue, and they are going to issue 2. They are less focused on tabletop RPG and more on tabletop games in general. They like to talk about role-playing games, war games, board games, and whatnot, this whole culture around tabletop games. And as a disclaimer, not all content in Wyrd magazine is actually indie, but the publication of the magazine itself is. So this program is not a democratic regime. I call the shot, so I say that it fits. Give it a look. And as always, I also try to bring to your attention a thread, a text, a blog post. This time is a blog post by Chiquita Fajita, and she is talking about how to better try to classify some aspects of the game. And this is an interesting read. It brought some ideas to my mind as well. And I guess that you could profit from it as well. And I believe that's it for today. If you like the video, like the damn video, share, subscribe. You know how internet works. Let me know in the comments what you are thinking about this series, what you want to see more, what you do not like it. And you can also pay me a coffee in Ko-fi or check my games in itch.io as well. Supporting me in any way is great. So that's it for today, and I'll see you all in the next video. So see ya!